Fatigue can manifest itself in our body both physically and mentally. So it's very important for us to understand that the causes of fatigue can be both physical or mental. So now we're going to address each of them individually. The physical aspect of the causes of fatigue as well as the mental aspect of the causes of fatigue. So there is what we can pay attention to that's called physical exertion. Physical exertion that causes fatigue on your body that comes from work or exercise. If you're a person who is involved in a very labor intensive work where you find yourself from morning till afternoon, you're involved in high intensity work, whether it's construction, it's engineering, it's working as a laborer, you'll find that your body will start to feel fatigued at the end of the day or at the end of the week. Also, if you're a person involved in consistent high intensity exercise, you'll find that your body's under a lot of fatigue. These things can cause muscle damage, they can cause your muscles to need to be repaired consistently, and you'll find that it's inhibiting your motion a lot. You may not be able to do the things that you would like to do, or you may only be able to be active during your work hours. Secondly, you'll find that fatigue can be caused by having too little rest in your life. Sometimes for the level of physical activity you're involved in, the level of rest or the amount of your rest you're getting is not sufficient enough. So you may require 8 hours of rest to recover from the level of physical activity you're involved in, but you're only getting 6.5, at most 7. So that now can begin to cause fatigue upon your body. Thirdly, what you'll find is that if your nutrition is poor, you can experience fatigue as well. Why? Because nutrition is important for the state of your body, internally and externally. Here's how. Nutrition supplies your body with nutrients and energy in order for you to be able to work, and in order for your body to repair itself from these physical activities. So if you're involved in any form of sports, one of the things that actually happens in sports, let's say for example soccer or football, is sometimes you play a player for 3, 4, 5 matches consecutively, but then you would have to rest him on the next match. Why? Because his body's under a lot of fatigue. Because of running, playing for 90 minutes, his body's under a lot of fatigue. So he would need rest a few days so that his body can recover enough for him to perform in the next match. So having poor nutrition is one of the things that inhibits our ability to perform on the job the way we did yesterday, because fatigue will begin to set in on us. We're not going to be able to give 100%. We'll find that we're going to become very slower. We're going to find that we're experiencing pain as we're doing the same task that we would have always done, because we're not eating consistently enough. We're not eating the proper nutrients that we would need in order to repair our body. Another thing that causes fatigue within your body would be from experiencing a chronic illness. Chronic illnesses would have an effect upon your body. You know, you look at some people and you know they have a medical condition, but it's telling on them physically. They're slow, they're not able to move as fast. It's taking a toll upon their body, because their body may begin to break down. Their cells, their tissues, their energy level, their energy conversion is being affected. The rate at which food is being converted to energy is being affected. And if your body does not have sufficient energy, you would not be able to perform some of even life's simple exercises, life's simple activities like climbing the stairs, playing with your children, cooking, showering, anything that just requires a minimal level of energy. You would not be able to do it properly because of the level of fatigue that is coming upon you by reason of that chronic illness. Now, we can look at the effects that mental exertion would have upon you in terms of fatigue. One of the things that causes people to feel fatigued is by trying to do it all alone. And this is mentally. When you're trying to work on a task, when you're trying to lead a project, when you're trying to attain a certain result on your own, you'll find that you may become easily fatigued mentally, because it's a task that requires 3, 4, 5 people, a team of people. but you're trying to carry that burden on your own mentally, and it's going to begin to tell upon you mentally. So I would recommend begin recruiting people that have specific skill sets that can help you to complete a certain project or to achieve a certain result. So it would take the stress off of you, the fatigue that comes upon you. It would begin to alleviate it and spread the work out across to a team of people that would make it, you would achieve it faster, it would be easier, and the result most likely would be better than trying to do it all alone. Secondly, a lot of times we try to achieve a task, but we don't have the requisite level of knowledge or understanding that's necessary to complete that task. So the difference between you and a pilot in terms of flying a plane, you would enter into a plane and find it difficult to even get started. You wouldn't have the know-how. But a pilot would go in there and he would start flicking switches and pressing buttons and affecting gauges, changing gauges, and so on, because he has the knowledge, he has the understanding. So you're going to go up to a task that you don't have sufficient knowledge for, and you're going to get fatigued mentally very fast because your brain runs on oxygen and sugar. So the sugar in your brain is going to get depleted very fast, and you're going to feel fatigued, especially if it's an activity that you're doing over an extended period of time. So I would recommend taking some time off, doing research, if you have to take a course, but go and get the information that's needed in order for you to complete a certain task or to get a job done. Secondly, there may be so much burdens that are upon you: family, work, personal life, relationship, hobbies, goal, ambition. You may be studying where my life is going, and these things are beginning to affect you. It's going to cause fatigue upon you mentally. And I know it may be a lot for you to handle and trying to figure everything out on your own within a certain amount of time. But I would recommend that you spend time in prayer and understand that this journey of life, you don't have to take it on by yourself. God is always there to help you. His Spirit is always there to support you. So adopt the practice of prayer, daily, consistent prayer. Ask questions in prayer. Express how you feel, your uncertainty, your lack of confidence. And what you'll find is that mental fatigue is going to begin to come off of you because you're taking it off of you and you're pouring it out upon God, and He's able to handle it. So I would recommend using prayer as a means of helping to alleviate any form of mental fatigue that comes to you. Also, it's very important that in trying to address these areas, especially physically, I would recommend, if you have done so much and you find that it's not improving, the condition is not changing, I would recommend that you consult a medical professional or a physician to assist, to provide professional advice for the specific symptoms that he would notice you're getting. So I would definitely recommend reaching out to a medical professional because, like stress, you don't want to experience fatigue for extended periods of time. So begin to address these things as soon as tomorrow. Do your best. Do not treat them as casual activities or just casual experiences, because if you treat them casually, you can end up as a casualty. So I would encourage you to begin to take this area of your life very seriously, mentally and physically, and to take that step towards making improvements. So if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below, or you can drop a question in the lifestyle coaching forum, and I'd be glad to answer them for you. So all the best.